Okay. Sorry, I'm just confusing with the screens. So just a quick introduction again on this, basically zero trust. Right. So hope you guys can see my screen. Can just anyone confirm? Okay. So just to answer a quick question, is it possible to add AVD content in the course? No. I'm sorry. We cannot add. Why? Because it's again a huge topic. It involves storage, FSI logics, all that is a bit different. Okay. So we cannot add AVD here. Okay. I don't have any plans there. So Nasima was asking which technology is best to learn with Intune. According to me, Entra ID, more of Entra ID, Intune, Defender for Endpoint, and Defender for Cloud Apps. Those four should be sufficient. Okay. No, application packaging, no. Is covered in L1, L3. No, I'm not covering any packaging. I just package one application and deploy it. There is a separate packaging course for understanding in-depth package. Okay, so that you can talk to Amit. Will you cover patch management via third-party tools? No. Course is in the evening, not morning. No, no 10 a.m. Okay, so what is just a second. So what is again? So this is again, you will see what the picture that you see is typically uh, from the Microsoft website itself. Okay, so you can download this PDF and you can actually click each and every section of this PDF to get into what solution you want to implement. Okay, well, the reason why I'm displaying this is I'm not sure if you are actually working in some of the projects. Microsoft is pushing to have a zero trust deployment plan with adopt it, okay, with the Microsoft 365 because you paid for M365, which is at least in E3 or an E5 solution. And today's cyber security is so much sophisticated, at least after work from home has started. The traditional, okay, so let's just discuss what is zero trust. Okay, so you'll now understand. Traditionally, if you look at a perimeter-based security model, there was something called as a perimeter-based security model. So what was that? So the perimeter-based security model was, just a second, sorry. I was just changing the screen. So yeah. So the uh okay. So the perimeter based model, right? Traditionally, we that is what we used to trust. Okay. That is how the cybersecurity whole design was focused. Okay. So it is a traditional approach that focuses on creating a secure boundary. Okay. So we say a perimeter around our organization networks. Right. So what happened in that model is it relied on firewalls, gateways, and other security tools to keep threats out. Okay, it relied. Okay, whether it keeps out or it doesn't keep out, it's a different thing, right? So we always because that model was an assumption that everything inside the network is trusted and safe. If you're inside the office network, you can do anything about. So no one used to ask for authentication. Nothing used to be trusted. Okay, so oh, you're connected to the company's network. Okay, so use whatever you want. So that was the perimeter security based model. That is a traditional based model. So what organizations like network cybersecurity organization, like third party organization, like the CIS, like the NIST, okay, all these people started to push a zero trust model within your organizations. It could be with Microsoft, or it could be with Palo Alto, or Zscaler, or you can use any other third party, Cisco, anyone. But there are some tools, especially with identity and devices and access of data, whether it's from the home network or from the company's network, you need to adopt this strategy. So if your customer is pushing, so they'll come and push to you within is a customer. So they'll go and ask you in TCS, Accenture, Wipro, all that design this model. So we are in M365. Can you come? All that is really happening today in organizations. A lot of people you know already. Okay, so you can contact and you'll come to know. So when you ask them, I've seen people with a good SSM Intune experience, they'll not be able to talk. They'll not be able to explain where are we. Okay, because they'll not even understand what is Entra ID in detail. They'll not know, but they are staying in the same SSM patch management, Intune application management, OSD deployment. Okay, so that is where your your career will stall. Okay, it's not bad to know. You of course you are getting paid for it. You are doing it regularly, but when you don't focus on the new things, what's happening in your organization, including AI, including Copilot. Okay, so everyone should know at this moment that Intune is integrated with Copilot, as in Security Copilot. A lot of questions that you have, troubleshooting that you have, is already done by Copilot. Okay, so it has to be something different that you learn. It's not uh, the regular things what everyone. So if you see put an error, it will give you the reason. Okay, so I'll show you how that Copilot works today. So you can put it in an English language stating that create a Windows work from Windows Hello for Business policy with this. Okay, apply it to this test group. It'll go ahead and apply and come back tomorrow. Can you show me the success rate and failure rate of this policy? It will give you the results. What was error? Why did it fail? It'll find out, it'll investigate. If there's an error code, it'll ask, it'll go and check in the internet, and it'll come back and say, this is the error most customers have found. This is this was the reason of the failure, and this is a fix. See, that much ready is our tools right now. It's integrated with Intune, it's integrated with Entra ID. Okay. So it is we have to go beyond the regular things, right? So it's all basics, no one even considers today. So that is that is your traditional, okay, traditional perimeter base. So what happens in the zero trust is it's uh, a more sophisticated. Okay, so the assumption here is we are assuming that no user or no device or even an application, whether it is inside the organization or outside the organization, is not okay. So we're not trusting anyone. So it has to be verified. So if you are coming from a secure device, compliant device, it's right now on live checking whether the device is compliant or not, and it is allowing you something. So it is a part of conditional access. Okay. So if you are coming from an IP address, corporate IP address, outside IP address, it is on live right now checking before even it is allowing, and it has multiple monitoring points that it will check. So what we should do, the principle is now very clear. So what is the principle? Never trust, always verify, and then least privilege access. So what is least privilege access? You don't give access to everyone for every tool, right? You with RBAC control, you do it. Plus, you use the privilege management, Entra ID privilege management or Intune privilege management. So with these principles, we are using these tools to implement something, right? So the model again basically simply operates on the assumption that there is already a breach. So first thing is we verify explicitly. So where do we verify explicitly? Which means that every authentication or every authorization is based on some available data points like user identity, user location, or the device health, right? So these three parameters, that is what zero trust people have defined. It's not Microsoft. Zero trust is not the word from Microsoft, it's a word from the security organizations. So when you're adopting this strategy, they say you either trust the identity, location, or device health. So I'm not trusting, you consider that as a data point. And then for us, what is it? Device health, which is a compliance part, Intune device compliance. How about location and identity? It's Entra ID, right? So these two tools will now come into picture to verify some explicitly. So how about least access privilege? So it is just-in-time access and just enough access, right? So there are two aspects again. One is the consoles and the administration tools itself. Who should have Intune administration console access? Normally RBAC is given, so that is called RBAC access. And we can actually start using Entra ID privilege management access or Intune privilege management access, where we only give, say, for example, an application package management guy should deploy an application during a weekend. Okay, just an example. Okay, so that people do it every day, but something needs to be deployed through a weekend, right? We only give just in time access and just enough access, only application publishing access or policy deployment access. So this again, where is it done? It's done in Entra ID or Intune Admin Center. Likewise, you have every tool, right? So you need to understand privilege management access in Entra ID. And we do have privilege management in our own Intune, so which we will learn. So then assume breach. So we should segment access based on the network, users, devices, applications. So while the same just-in-time access and just-in enough access within Intune, it's not just about administrator console. How about the users who are using thousands of devices? Can they have access to every application? Can they have access to administration access of to some application or even the local tool? It's very dangerous to have an administrator on the device itself, right? You can do a lateral entry. Once he gets privileges to some application, he'll get into domain and he'll start doing all kinds of privilege misbehaving and then getting access to a highest authority. Then a lot of things will happen again once he gets into domain credentials. So we need to do all of that. So looking at this, if you look at 1, 2, 3, as soon as you see from 4 to 12, okay, manage endpoints with Intune and Microsoft, implement app protection policies, enroll devices into management, set up compliance, require healthy, deploy device profiles, monitor device risk, implement, okay, DLP, okay, and then comes eighth, evaluate, pilot, deploy Defender for XDR. What is XDR? Extended detection and response, right? It includes 4 different products, including our Defender for endpoint and cloud apps. And then comes, which we are not at all discussing. So the 11th one, which is the purview, which is information protection. It's all talks about the, okay. So take that from me. I'm sure I've been here for nearly 10 years with Intune. You don't have any control. Okay. So the only control that you have is a seamless internet connectivity and a code configuration. Screen is not visible. Now it is not visible. Yes. So Windows update troubleshooting, yes, I'm covering. Yeah, that is, of course, yeah. So update is covering. So before, I don't know, people, instead of messaging separately, uh, put it in the group so that I don't have to navigate uh, different chats. Okay. So reporting part, I don't know, reporting part. So what exactly is reporting part? Can you just elaborate? We cannot create any custom reports. Whatever the inbuilt reports are there, those are the reports that we need to do it. Okay. So I still have another half an hour. So let me just cover some fundamentals again so that I don't cover it in a regular class. Um, a lot of people, right, they fail to communicate the role uh, and also the capability of a tool. Okay. So I am sure many of you people here are able to, when your customer or your manager or anyone might have asked everyone as to say which is your patching tool, your answer might be Microsoft Intune. And immediate response from your managers would be, oh, we have 10% of the devices that it not patched. Can Intune patch the device? Can Intune push the patches? Right. So these are all the common questions that we are getting every day and every time, but we are not able to explain it properly, and we are not able to take a stand as to what is our capability, why are we not doing all that. So it's simply because a lot of people who are in the existing industry are old. They don't understand. They're always thinking it is kind of an SCCM tool, and Intune, and is a bit different. It's not as strong as SCCM, as powerful as SCCM, but it is futuristic. Okay, why? Because no one cares what SCCM does in future. It is doing great job. Okay, so uh, but in future it might be irrelevant. Okay, so I can give many examples. Okay, so uh, for example, inventory. Who cares about inventory now? But 10, 20 years back, whether it's an hardware inventory of 16 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM, someone stole 4 GB RAM, or what is the hardware inventory, how much hard disk space you have, all that nowadays no one cares, right? So in inventory details, they don't care which Dell operating system, which model. It's become lesser relevance. Okay, same thing goes with software inventory. It doesn't matter how many applications he installs. If you are in a standard control, if you have blocked all the security controls, why will the person install an operating system, an additional application again? So these regular routine admin tasks, people will not have money to pay. Okay, and then why do people go for auto patch? Again, they don't want to pay money for sitting and patching devices. Whether they're already built using tools, they're already paying money for the software tools, and they'll not have people to come to monitor all that. It should be automatic. Okay, so auto patch is one thing. So second thing, I'm sure many people have know about application packaging, enterprise app management, advanced enterprise app management. So what is enterprise app management? You don't have to package applications. Microsoft is packaging the applications in the same Win32 format. They are uploading the packages. They are doing it. They are entering all this installation commands, uninstallation commands, rules, dependency packages. They are doing all the things that a packaging team does. All right. When it was announced, and you saw a lot of groups in WhatsApps, all that, right? So the packaging team will become irrelevant in some time, right? And look at the number of OSD engineers. They are now into autopilot. Look at MBAM people. MBAM is like Microsoft BitLocker administration. Now they don't, the tool only is announced. And if you know Microsoft's documentation, on the first page, it says Microsoft strictly recommends only Entra ID cloud joined devices if you are adopting a new device, if you're enrolling or provisioning a new device, as much as possible, try to avoid hybrid AD join. Okay. So that is their statement. And they also recommend Intune as the simple policy deployment management tool. So, but still, a lot of companies use hybrid AD join because they're not brave enough or they don't know the reason as to why they're using. Not all. There could be 5 to 10% of customers who understand why they are using hybrid AD join. Rest, everyone, they don't know. Okay. So that is why I just wanted to tell you is we need to able to explain, okay, and talk. Because when I say this course, right, it is preparing yourself on how to face interviews, how to talk to your customer, how to talk to your leadership team, managers, and everything. Okay, so some confidence in how modern tools look like. Okay, so um, okay, so this BOYD is a new standard, they say, right? So all these things are from a real-time scenarios. Okay, so why, and when I say BOYD, it has to be, do you think BOYD can be managed? So if it is a BOYD, which means that it's a personal device, can Intune manage the personal device? Of course, yes. But how we manage it, what kind of policies we do it, how do you onboard them in the first place? Be it Windows or be it mobile phones. So that is complemented with something called as a MAM solution, like mobile application management solution. And the recent announcement is Edge for Windows, right? So these are commonly conversational topics that we keep hearing. So how about Teams? Right? That's the next application after Edge. How about Outlook web app? So these are the things that people will not know, and you need to talk in an interviews or in the customers facing challenges. Suddenly they are, I need to protect a BYD. So what is your solution? So there are two things, right? So someone has designed, someone knows the answer, someone knows the solution, and you are operating it. So you'll never get a good salary in that. Okay, so you are always doing someone asked to do something, you'll always do an L1, L2 administration job. Okay. But a solution consultant or an architect, if you want to go to a next level, you should first know the solutions in our hand, the capabilities of each product and the tool. Or for every problem, if not Intune, there should be some other solution, right? So even that you need to know as a part of your end user computing engineer or digital workspace architect, consultant, in that next level. So endpoint threats are increasing. So what are we going to do? Of course, it has to be complemented with some EDR solution. So what is EDR? So again, right? So these are the things that we all need to become experts on. So we had to balance a lot of things, right? So there is again a common thing. So you have, first of all, the challenge is the distributed workers. It could be from finance, it could be from IT, different organizations, different people. And then comes the endpoint diversity, multiple devices, uh, multiple operating systems, and then employee satisfaction. They'll start complaining, oh, yeah, put on full hardened rules, full controls. I'm not able to use this. I'm not able to use proper Office applications, not able to download, install. And you also need to balance cybersecurity team, right? So you didn't won't open up. So you need to work with and keep focus on multiple teams, cybersecurity, enter IDs, or any identity team, and then your business processes and also end users. Okay, so it's a big challenge while implementing a new solution. So, what do we actually mean by modern management then? Okay, the simple modern management is nothing but in simple definition, in according to most, get rid of simple on-premise solutions. Okay, so that is simple, which is eliminating AD. And I'm not sure if you know this. So Microsoft has a huge AD minimization project. Just go and type in Google Microsoft AD minimization strategy, project, or anything. So they will guide you. They are guiding companies to move away from Active Directory to Entra ID. Okay, so it just in case if you don't know, like SCCM team compared to Intune team is 4 times more than the same SCCM team right now in Microsoft. Okay, so it's if there are 100 people here, there are 400 people in Intune. Okay, the number of features that are added in Intune every week, every day, every month is much higher than the semi-annual or the annual update that you get in SCCM, right? So they will not tell you, okay, oh, move away from SSM. So you'll automatically move. So that is moving away from SSM, moving away from on-premise Active Directory. After all this conversation, someone will definitely come and say, these are all the things SCCM does. It's great. No one disagrees, right? So it's the same Microsoft tool. Microsoft itself is telling, I cannot develop a feature twice in two different products. Yeah, that openly, that is their that's the communication in the event, the Ignite event. When customer asks, we want SCCM for a long time, I know that, but I cannot develop and put resources to develop the same feature, the same product in Intune and also in SCCM, just to satisfy two different set of customers, right? They gave you co-management. If you want to use it, you can use it, but they cannot add new things in SCCM and also in Intune every day, every time. So, okay, so this is again a conversational topic where how Intune as a product is able to uh, resolve. I'm sorry, let me just. So in order to get some access to Entra ID, do we need to get Azure subscription of P1 and P2? So P1 is fine. Yeah, so P1 is fine. So okay, so that's all. Yeah, that's all. So okay, so again, so yeah, I'll share all of these PPTs. Okay, so it could help you. Okay, so you can use the same language when you are talking. So Microsoft says it's now an Intune product family. It includes Intune and also configuration management. They're not referring to SCCM anymore. They're not referring to configuration management anymore. Okay, so if you look at their communication and documentation, they announced that as an Intune product family, where a lot of things are actually there along with Intune, along with SCCM, along with some other third-party products like all the analytics part, and then remote help part, and then cloud PKI, tunneling. So a lot of things, okay? So which end well, it keeps expanding. I'm sure it'll keep expanding. Okay, so enterprise app management was a huge success. Cloud PKI was a huge success. EPM, uh, because all of these products are replacing third-party products, right? So imagine paying TeamViewer twice the license as remote help. Intune remote help is help desk or Intune administration to take remote help of those people, right? So help compared to any other third-party license, LogMeIn, all this TeamViewer or Beyond Trust, all of these solution, easiest was and cheapest was remote help. Same thing goes with CyberArk EPMs. Compared to CyberArk EPM, Microsoft EPM was very less and it does the same job. But CyberArk is too good, I know that, but in future it could match, right? So the cost wise, they keep on adding a lot of beneficiary. Okay, so that's about the co-management. So it says in terms of protects all kinds of devices. So when you say the frontline devices, I'm sure like many people have worked in projects. There are schools, universities, factories, all of them are using iPads, mobile phones, Androids, right? So you will get into those projects where your entire lifetime or life thing can only be working on Androids and iPads. Okay, I know people who are there, for example, in Wells Fargo, JPMC, right? They're only for like 10 years, they're working on only iPads, Androids, tablets, and Mac machines. Okay, and they're always busy, they're always learning, they're always using a lot of things. So the same thing when it comes to frontline, right? So Microsoft has a separate frontline license where they can do a lot of things. So Intune again says Microsoft claims they can manage all kinds of physical and virtual machines, including virtual desktops, AVDs, whether it is Horizon View or Citrix Desktop, Windows 365 physical devices. So one tool which can manage, not that other tools cannot do it. Okay, so that is one way to tell their own things. Okay, so they have some built-in protection capabilities. You have conditional access controls, you have devices, apps, they say. Okay, so this is just why device needs to be modern. Okay, so again, zero touch deployment. You don't have to have an operating system deployment capabilities the same way you do Android Zero Touch or even the Apple Business Manager provisioning. So I think Apple Business Manager was the first one to have a zero touch provisioning out of the box. The same thing was copied with Windows Autopilot, and then later recently Google Zero Touch Android provisioning actually was announced by Google. Okay, so this is one difference which I was saying, right? So this is the cloud attached part. So we're talking about the same thing, zero trust, and then different licenses part. So why EMS, right? So I'm EMS at least as a core to protect your data to start with Entra ID, Intune Purview, Identity, and Cloud Apps. So licenses, you can either uh, if you're new, if you're not at all subscribed previously, though you have some customer environment working space, so if you have need to have your own lab, I would say start using a trial account, which comes for 30 days and extend it for another 30 days. And immediately you can add your licenses, go to add-ons and add on the complete Intune suite. Okay, so don't have to have a minimum license of just remote help or anything. Add Intune Suite, you'll get all advanced features. Okay. So what we are transitioning today. So earlier we always had this way of adopt and connect, and then slowly a lot of customers are now transition to purely Entra ID and Intune management and very slow people who have a strong application deployments or application packages already there in SCM, and they are very particular about patch management. Yes, they are continuing to use co-management with the workloads being shared with config manager for patch management and application deployment. Okay, I see a customer. I've seen customers where they were around 3,500 application packages, and they were using at least 1,500 to 1,600 packages live. Okay, so they had to retire only somewhere in 500, 600, but they always require those packages because it's a big pharma company. They're a traditional organization where they had to use, and or else their sales team and their uh, all the doctors and all they moved to Entra ID, pure Intune managed, but their research organization and there are some other teams they are still with the co-management section. Okay, so you'll eventually see a lot of companies moving to here, right? So this is their plan. Okay, normally you modernize apps, you move from a desktop application to cloud-based, browser-based application. You'll start reducing the dependency on installable applications, and then from imaging to autopilot, you move. A lot of customers already moved, and you start. This is a tricky WSS to Windows update for business. And don't worry, you know that WSS is retired mm, with the Windows Server updates. And so you see, right, how Microsoft keeps end of support and retiring the things so that you move to modern management. They even say remove SCCM, and you go and say how do I manage my servers patching? They'll say go to Microsoft Azure Arc, right? So Azure Arc is a solution where it has an Arc agent, and you can install that on Azure servers, on-premise servers, Google GCP servers, AWS servers, or any other servers. It'll manage and update the servers only. So for everything, they have a solution. A lot of people still, again, let me repeat, tell me one reason as to why people need Active Directory. 99% of the answers Microsoft has already provided. Okay. So if you can say access to file shares, they have a solution. If you say printing, I need to have managed printers, so my device need to be joined to Active Directory. Yeah, they came up with universal print solution. How about RDP access? Even that is possible with Enter ID joint devices, including Windows Hello for Business. Just put in a fingerprint and authentication directly to RDP. There is a solution. So Kerberos authentication for a legacy application could only be a reason as to why they need to have an Active Directory. There is no policy as of today that is not there in a GPO that cannot be done in Intune. Okay, there are multiple ways Intune can be used to deploy a GPO that's not there inbuilt MDM function. Okay, so GPO could not be the reason. Okay, so for a device to be joined in Active Directory. So this yellowish, little bit of yellowish and little bit of full of green is what we are covering as a part of this tool. Okay. So the above part about login script, group policies, all this WSS configuration manager, custom Pixie USB sticks. Okay. All that we are not covering. We are covering from somewhere here to all this green color. Okay. So I think um 1 second. So any questions, let me know. So next week, Saturday is what we are officially starting our first class. So anyone interested can join. And if you have any questions, if you need to speak to me before joining the class also, you're most welcome. You can have a conversation with me. So right now, if you have any questions, yeah, you can put that in the chat, guys. Okay, man. Okay, guys. Okay. So see you next Saturday.